He arrived in Chelsea coming from Basel, a lonely boy, a naive boy, completely out of context, physically fragile. And then he goes to Italy, he has the experience of Fiorentina, he has the experience of Rome. When he comes back to England, he comes completely adapted to the high-level European football, with more understanding of the game, physically much stronger. You can see his body, his fitness much stronger and much more confident, much more confident.
Mohamed Salah might be one of the most underappreciated players we have seen in the world of football. Despite picking up 25 goals and 14 assists in the 2024 season, he wasn't even part of the 30-man nomination for the Ballon d'Or. For the 2023 Ballon d'Or, Salah ranked 11th, despite scoring 30 goals and providing 16 assists. He has been arguably the best player in the Premier League ever since he came to Liverpool. Salah holds the record for the most goals on Premier League opening day, has had multiple seasons of scoring 30 plus goals and multiple seasons with double-digit assists.
Mohamed Salah scores again for Liverpool. Mohamed Salah always scores for Liverpool.
Never injured, and year after year he's top goal scorer. He just is.
The impact he has had on this Liverpool team is insane. At times, Salah has had to carry the Reds alone on his shoulder when things got tough. Him and De Bruyne have been the faces of the league for the 2020s.
Unbelievable. I think to score that many goals in a season is unbelievable.
Who do we vote for Footballer of the Year?
I vote for Salah.
You did?
Yeah.
Because?
Because he deserves it.
He's one of the greatest African players to ever play the sport, the best right winger in Premier League history.
Who's been the toughest opponent?
I think it's Salah.
Salah.
I think it's Salah.
Why? What is it about him?
It's absolutely explosive and unstoppable winger.
So why is it that despite the dominance Salah has shown in what many people deem as the best league in the world, despite the numbers, despite the trophies, despite the consistency, when you talk about the best players in the world, his name is rarely mentioned? Is it because of where he's from? Is it because he's an African Muslim dominating the entire Premier League?
I think it's always opinion. I can't say I'm the best player in the world or something. It's some people will agree, some people not.
Do you like proving people wrong? Does it give you pleasure?
Yes. No, give me motivation.
It gives you motivation.
Motivation, yeah, to prove them wrong.
For Salah, being underappreciated isn't something new. It's something that he has had to deal with at every step of his journey. While we all know Salah now as the Liverpool legend who can't stop scoring, he used to have a different reputation. At just 15 years old, playing in Egypt, he had to be given a special diet and training program due to his muscles not being fully formed.
That shows a great determination and a will to be a footballer. You must have absolutely really wanted.
I had nothing to do, nothing else to do. Just I'm playing football. I love to play football. It was my life.
Early on in his career, Mamdou Abbas, who was the president of Egyptian top club Zamalek, publicly refused to sign Salah because he was apparently not good enough.
And I didn't play for the best team in Egypt.
While he would get regular game time at Al Mukawloon, he struggled to score goals. In the dressing room after matches, he would sometimes be in tears because of this. These setbacks only motivated Salah to become better.
What really I love about myself is I want to really succeed, and I can do anything just to be a better person and better player.
While he wasn't putting up the craziest numbers, he was showing that he had potential. Swiss club Basel had been monitoring Salah for some time, and following the suspension of the Egyptian Premier League, they made a move for the Egyptian. They set up a friendly match with the Egyptian national under-23 team, but the match was only played for one reason: to watch Salah. Although Salah only played in the second half, he scored twice. Basel were impressed, and on the 10th of April 2012, it was announced that Salah had signed for Basel on a 4-year contract. He was brought in as a replacement for Shaqiri, who had just departed. The excitement of the move, however, came to a quick end after Salah found it difficult to settle.
I think because the culture is very difficult for us. Like, you came from Egypt to Switzerland, like, what? It's two cultures completely different. The timing, to respect your time, to be in time, that's something different.
His first training with the club was so bad that Basel's manager at the time, Vogel, thought that Salah might have had a twin brother.
My first day in Basel, I said, okay, I need to change myself now. It was hard, of course.
He wasn't able to speak the language, and now he was playing in a new league and country.
What was the hardest thing?
The language. I couldn't speak English, so I was walking the street talking Arabic to everyone. So it was difficult, the language. I couldn't speak English. I have to learn English.
It was a big step up from the Egyptian league.
They train 2 hours. They give everything in 2 hours. The attention, the focus, the concentration, everything in that 2 hours. But in Egypt, I wasn't like that. It was like, yeah, you have 2 hours. You could be a little bit slow. You could be a little bit tired. That doesn't work here. So I need to change my mentality, and I need to develop myself.
Different work ethic completely in many ways.
Here, his speed wasn't enough to beat players. And as his former teammate Jan Sommer stated, Salah had problems in front of goal.
So in my mind, I need to change, or otherwise I have to come back to Egypt. So that's not an optional for me, so I need to change myself.
But the club remained patient. Salah was eased into things, often being used as an impact substitute. Of his 29 appearances in the Swiss Super League in that first year at Basel, only 10 of them lasted longer than an hour. The team's manager, Murat Yakin, was careful to manage his development. Their patience was rewarded in the second season, where Salah picked up 12 goals and 7 assists in all competitions as Basel were crowned champions again. These numbers look drastically low now, but at the time were signs of huge improvements from the Egyptian.
All my willpower to change my mentality in Switzerland. So I was really able to change myself, my mentality, my mind, everything. So that's what I did in Basel.
In fact, he was playing so well that Chelsea were interested in signing him.
Held talks with Basel with the hope of making Salah their first signing of the January transfer window.
Salah joined Mourinho's Chelsea in January for $14.75 million from Basel. He was still relatively unknown by most football fans, but he had shown some moments of greatness. Specifically, his performance against Chelsea in the Champions League.
Beautiful control from him, and Salah has done it! For the third time in a row against Chelsea, he has scored, and it might clinch the Champions League double over Jose Mourinho's side.
He had played so well that Mourinho was convinced that Salah might be the missing piece to take the team to the next level.
I was the one that told buy that guy. He was going from Basel to Liverpool, and I made a fight. I made a war to make him come to Chelsea.
والله هو بعتت لي مسج منه في الاول. انا كنت الموضوع كان ماشي في اتجاه ليفربول خالص، فاتبعت لي منه مسج، فانا بصيت جوزيه مورينيو كلمني.
Salah scored his first goal for Chelsea against Arsenal in a 6-0 win. However, things only went downhill from here.
Kid come from Egypt to Chelsea, after 1 year and a half, like it's difficult. In Chelsea, you go to the dressing room, you see big names, big players, you love them when you were kids.
Mourinho did not play Salah much, with him only making 8 appearances in all competitions, not scoring in any of them.
I played first 6 months, then I was not able to play the second 6 months, so I didn't play much. I don't know what's the reason. I just was young, then I didn't have my chance. That's what I can say about the time.
We bought a kid, and we bought a kid from a different habitat, Egyptian player playing in Switzerland. We knew that the kid was going to need time. This season, step by step, start playing, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, he come on against Newcastle.
Then, Salah had his worst performance ever in a game against Shrewsbury Town. The performance was so bad that Mourinho publicly talked about it. He said that certain players made it easy to not choose them for the starting 11, then specifically said that Salah in particular had disappointed him. Mourinho began freezing Salah out, and he only made 3 more appearances before being loaned out to Fiorentina.
To be a Chelsea player, you need to perform, or you have to wait. You have to wait. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to go on loan.
Mentally, after I was not playing, it was very difficult for me mentally. I said to myself, I need to leave. I said to myself, I need to change everything. I need to change the culture. I need to change the football. So that's a time to go outside England.
Now, some people might blame Chelsea for Salah not developing. I mean, at the end of the day, making attackers better is not something Chelsea have been particularly good at. But on the other hand, maybe the move to England was done too early in Salah's career. He was young and did not have enough top-level experience.
He arrived in Chelsea coming from Basel, a lonely boy, a naive boy, completely out of context, physically fragile.
I was also young, 21, 22, so the media was like putting more pressure on me. Then I couldn't handle that, and it was really difficult because as a star in Egypt and like 100 million is looking at you and writing everything about you, and probably most of the time they write something fake.
At Fiorentina though, Salah looked good, certainly a lot better than the version of him we were seeing at Chelsea. He made his first start for Fiorentina on the 14th of February against Sassuolo, scoring his first goal for the club in the 30th minute. He then provided an assist to Babacar just 2 minutes after scoring. The match ended in a 3-1 win for Fiorentina. He scored in the Europa League against Tottenham, scored both of Fiorentina's goals in a 2-1 win against Juventus in the Coppa Italia, and scored the winner against Inter in the league. Despite joining the club halfway through the year, Salah was shining. Fiorentina tried to make the loan move permanent, but Salah refused, and instead joined Roma on loan. Salah really must have loved Italy because he continued to shine, picking up 15 goals and 7 assists as Roma finished 3rd in Serie A and qualified for the Champions League. He was named Roma's 2015-2016 Player of the Season. The loan spell had gone so well that Roma signed Salah on a permanent deal. Salah rewarded their decision by getting even better as he picked up 18 goals and 15 assists in all competitions. Roma finished second, just 4 points behind Juventus, but Salah had shown unbelievable progress. Ultimately, his time in Italy was a blessing. Fiorentina and Roma made him better both physically and mentally.
Italy, Fiorentina and Roma, of course, and you really established yourself.
And then he goes to Italy, he has the experience of Fiorentina, he has the experience of Rome. When he comes back to England, he comes completely adapted to the high-level European football with more understanding of the game, physically much stronger. You can see his body, his fitness much stronger and much more confident.
A player who was criticized for his inability to be clinical in front of goal now had 2 seasons in a row with double-digit goals.
Many people were saying that about, he couldn't finish well, he didn't do that, I built a field, goal, and balls, and coins and everything. I was talking every day. Practice every day.
This was the player Chelsea had hoped to get when they signed him from Basel. With Salah's reputation transforming after his time in Italy, Liverpool came calling.
Since I left in Rome, I don't know which club, but when I had Liverpool, I said, okay, I have to come back to England.
And that's why when I was in Rome and there's talk between the clubs, and they will say, I will go there, I would love to play there. The atmosphere is unbelievable. I want to come back to England to prove people wrong.
While Salah's play had drastically improved from his time at Chelsea, a lot of people at the time still doubted the signing. In people's eyes, he was still a Premier League reject, and despite getting 34 goals and 22 assists at Roma, nobody knew if he could keep the same numbers in England.
It's like many doubts. Like the people were talking a lot now. It's not good enough for English football. It shouldn't come back. In Italy, it's like a bit slow, the football.
So for Liverpool to spend that sum of money on someone that has already failed to prove himself in the Premier League looked like a bit of a dud to me.
If everybody's fit at the start of the season, I didn't think he might not get in the team because you were looking at Coutinho, Firmino and Mane.
After all, even in that great second season at Roma, at one point, Salah had gone 2 months without a goal. There were even reports that Salah was not the player Klopp wanted.
And Jurgen Klopp's quite open about this. He didn't want to sign Mo Salah. He wanted to sign Julian Brandt.
But Salah was determined to silence his doubters on his return to England.
Just to come back to England, it was in my mind very clear. In my mind, I was like, it's my league, I will come back. I will come back and for sure I will succeed here. But when I came here, I had also 2 great seasons in Rome. Everyone told me, no, don't change. The Premier League is difficult for you. But it's always in my mind to come back.
In his opening game, he scored against Watford.
The gentleman alongside you scored today. He was also involved in the penalty. What did you think of his overall contribution?
Yeah, brilliant. He's been brilliant since he come in pre-season. He's shown what he's all about, scoring goals. Linking up with the forward men and doing his defensive duties as well. So he was fantastic again today and deserves man of the match.
Just 12 days later, he would score his first goal at Anfield against 1899 Hoffenheim. Then he scored and assisted in a 4-0 win over Arsenal. He was starting to silence his haters in the very first month. Then in November of 2017, he went face-to-face with the team that got rid of him. Chelsea. This was the same Chelsea team that had won the league the previous season, but Salah positioned himself at the right place at the right time, scoring against them. Out of respect for his former club, he didn't celebrate, but everyone in that stadium knew that this was not the same Salah who had come to the Premier League 4 years ago. The Chelsea fans were even more sad that they had lost to a player that they got rid of. Salah began to rise to the top of the Premier League top scorer charts after scoring twice against Stoke, scoring against Bournemouth, and scoring 4 goals against Watford.
But the real moment, I think, when it looked like they'd got a world beater where they looked like they got an incredible player, I think was the Watford game, mid-March, where he scored 4 goals.
He became the joint second fastest player to reach 20 goals for Liverpool, doing it in 26 appearances. Don't think he just scored against the weaker teams either. He scored in both legs of the Champions League quarterfinals against Man City, helping Liverpool advance to the semi-finals.
He's changed the way he plays. He doesn't play the same way as before. And I think sometimes, like we were talking about before, is that some players, the penny drops. What do you want to be? Do you want to be an entertainer, or do you want to be someone who decides games? And he's made that decision, and he's been clinical.
The game I would never take it away from my mind is the Champions League away game, the 2-1. That was like, I think I was talking to Virgil yesterday on the bench. I was like, I think that's the most difficult game we played in Liverpool.
In the semi-finals, he scored a brace against his former club Roma. He had turned into Egyptian Messi this season.
Mohamed Salah's running through. Mohamed Salah, Alisson, it's all the way out! Oh, it's another for Liverpool! It's another for Salah!
Without Mohamed Salah, Liverpool 2-0 down. With Mohamed Salah, Liverpool 5-0 up.
Salah was perfect for Klopp's system. Their fast attacking style meant they could use Salah's pace.
And the style of his football and the way he sets up his team, it clearly suits you.
Salah would start out wide and either create a goal for himself like this one, or someone like Firmino could create for him like his second goal against Roma. His speed combined with his improved finishing made him so dangerous.
How have you done it? How have you gone from excellent, world class to maybe even that next stage?
I'm always looking to myself like where I can improve. What can I do to improve?
This became Salah's best season statistically, as he finished with 44 goals in all competitions, 32 goals in the Premier League, and 10 goals in the Champions League. You guys understand how crazy 10 goals and 5 assists in 13 Champions League games is? He also became the leading goal scorer in Europe's top 5 leagues, overtaking Barcelona's Lionel Messi and Tottenham striker Harry Kane.
Look who's at the top of that list. Lionel Messi, at the top.
Crazy to see a player who was memed as being a pace merchant become a Golden Boot winner in his first season back to the Premier League. He became the PFA Player of the Year and was named in the Team of the Season. He would then become the Premier League's all-time goal scorer for a 38-game season at the time. Salah was breaking record after record.
When I won it from Kane, I said, you won it from Kane, and Kane was winning 2 years before. So, no, I went to the summer and the holiday, I said, look, why not? You did it one time and take it from Kane, and Kane is top goal scorer. So give it a try on the second one.
His success continued as Liverpool made it to the Champions League final. Real Madrid were the last obstacle standing between Liverpool and the Champions League. Liverpool fans were confident that with Salah playing at a Ballon d'Or level, along with Sadio Mane, they would achieve the ultimate prize. But then everything changed in the 30th minute. Sergio Ramos grabbed Mo Salah and tackled him to the ground. This literally looks like a finishing move in WWE. While dragging him down, Ramos dislocated Salah's shoulder. Salah at first tried to carry on, thinking he could still play.
I felt something. I just felt something strange in my body when I felt in my shoulder. So I said, hopefully it's not serious. So the doctor came in, then I go out, then I say, okay, now it's fine, I can move it. But when I was running, I just felt something like
too much.
Yeah.
But he couldn't continue and left the field in tears. Real Madrid ended up winning the final, putting a sad ending to a historic season for Salah.
Disappointed moment in my career and my life. Go out to the field, in the final Champions League. It was so bad after the season we had together. So it was very disappointing for me. I think if I continued the game, in my mind that we could win the game. And the day after, I was like, okay, now we have to looking forward for the next one. I don't have to just still crying and think about the bus. The bus is past, so now you have to think about now and the future.
While the 2018 season ended in tears, the new season started off with a bang. Salah signed a contract extension with Liverpool. He committed his future to the club and showed that the last season was not a fluke, as he immediately scored in the first game of the new season against West Ham. He was named on the 3-man shortlist for the UEFA Men's Player of the Year, coming in 3rd place, and was also included on the 3-man shortlist for the UEFA Forward of the Season, coming in 2nd place. Imagine going back to 2014 and telling someone that the dude who scored 9 goals for Basel and played about 12 games for Chelsea would be considered one of the best players in the world.
Of course, I want to show that people that they are wrong. There is many doubts with no reason. They just talk.
From right-footed goals to tap-ins to an absolute banger against Chelsea, Salah was finding the net in every way possible. A lot of people had said that Salah was a one-season wonder, but the numbers disagree.
Can he do anything anywhere near it next season?
Well, that's the big question.
I remember the first season, and I remember some people saying, yeah, but can he do it again? The first season's easy, can he do it again? And now you've just gone year after year.
27 goals and 12 assists in all competitions for the Egyptian as he won his second Golden Boot.
Breaking records, 2 Golden Boots, Player of the Year.
But there was still a missing piece in Salah's glory. There was something he hadn't achieved yet. Liverpool was back in the Champions League final again. It was time for Salah's redemption. Liverpool's previous opponents from last year were thrashed earlier in the Champions League by Ajax. It meant that Salah would not have to face Ramos again. Salah's new opponent was Tottenham Hotspur. While it looks like an easier matchup compared to Real Madrid on paper, this was a different Spurs team. Just look at what Lucas Moura did to get Spurs to the final. It didn't matter though. While the final wasn't the most entertaining, this was a massive moment of redemption for the Egyptian.
Mo, all the tears of last season, all the disappointment of last season's final, all wiped away tonight.
Honestly, I don't know what to say, but everyone is happy now. You win a final. I'm very glad to play the second final in a row and play 90 minutes finally.
I think when we won the Champions League, it was unbelievable. The emotional you can see in the videos that he had, and emotion with us after the game was like a good memory.
From here on, Salah continued his dominance and established himself not just as a Liverpool legend, but a Premier League great. He had 19 goals and 10 assists just in the Premier League in the 2019-2020 season, leading Liverpool to a league title.
The Premier League is like, there is no doubt that's the most important thing for everybody.
He won the 2019 FIFA Club World Cup and received the Golden Ball Award for the player of the tournament. In this season, Salah also became the first Liverpool player to score 20 goals in all competitions in 3 consecutive seasons since Michael Owen. Yet he finished 5th in the Ballon d'Or rankings. It was almost like people had become numb to his greatness.
But with Liverpool fans, I think he's a little bit underappreciated. Certainly going from what he did in that first season to what he's sort of the numbers he's getting now. Obviously, do you feel this season you're maybe not getting the attention that you got last season, and what you're doing is maybe not getting appreciated as much?
In the 2021 season, he scored against Newcastle to become the first Liverpool player to score 20 goals in 3 different Premier League campaigns. Salah ended the season with 22 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League and 31 goals and 6 assists in all competitions. What makes these numbers even more impressive was that it was in a struggling Liverpool side. Between COVID and injury issues that Liverpool was dealing with, they couldn't compete at a high level.
It's Liverpool's last 3 away games in the league. They lost 3-1 at Brentford, 3-0 at Brighton, 3-0 at Wolves. I mean, they've lost the fear factor, haven't they?
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's no doubt about that, yeah.
But at this moment, this Liverpool team are, a shadow of what they've been.
Salah was the only consistent part of the Liverpool team that season, and without him, they don't qualify for the Champions League.
You rescued it to an extent. Did you find last season really hard?
Well, yes, absolutely. We have a lot of injury. Some players were not in the best form. So I found it really hard.
But because of Liverpool's struggles, Salah's performances were also being criticized despite his numbers.
Liverpool in the last month have carried Mo Salah. And if Diogo Jota was fit, I don't think Mo Salah probably started yesterday, and he probably didn't start the games before because he is way out of form.
We have to talk about Salah. Salah is only the ghost of himself right now.
I would certainly agree that he's not as good as he was 2 seasons ago.
When Mo Salah comes on, you think he's going to come on, add some freshness. 3 or 4 times he gets 1v1 with the left back and just runs straight into him.
Even among the Liverpool fan base, there was a period where people felt Firmino and Mane were more important to the side.
Liverpool's front 3, and again, said to Liverpool supporters, would you rather Mane go, Firmino or Salah? Everyone I speak to says Salah.
But Salah kept pushing. In 2022, it seemed like every week Salah was breaking records. He opened the season with a goal and assist against Norwich, becoming the first player to score in the opening game of 5 consecutive Premier League seasons. His goal against Brentford made him the fastest player in Liverpool history to reach 100 top-flight goals. The goal also moved Salah into Liverpool's top 10 all-time scorer list.
I want to be the highest top scorer for Liverpool in the Premier League, that's for sure. It's clear in my mind. I'm gonna do it hopefully soon.
In October, he scored 2 goals against Atletico Madrid, breaking 2 different milestones. He became the first player in Liverpool history to score in 9 consecutive games, and also passed Steven Gerrard to become the top Champions League goal scorer in Liverpool's history.
Now, my favourite is you. It has to be you because Leo, my Leo, he's obsessed. He loves you more than me.
I know Gerrard was a midfielder, but it is still insane that Salah surpassed him that quickly, considering Gerrard was at Liverpool his whole career.
I think when Mo Salah eventually, stops playing for the club, I think he goes right. in there as one of the top players who ever played for the team. I think he goes in an all-time Liverpool 11. And you could argue he's in the top 5 or 6 players who ever played for the club.
Later in that same month, Salah broke yet another record. After scoring a hat-trick against Manchester United, he became the highest scoring African player in Premier League history, surpassing Didier Drogba. He also became the first opposition player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford since Ronaldo Nazario did it in 2003, and the first to do so in Premier League history.
When I scored a hat-trick and I think I had another chance after, I was like so angry, and I looked at the manager, was like, stay calm, you're gonna score again, it's fine. And I just felt like I want to score again and again.
At the end of the season, Salah was awarded his 3rd Golden Boot award, sharing the award with Heung-min Son after both players scored 23 goals. Salah also won the Playmaker of the Season award after collecting 13 assists. The consistency Salah has shown is unbelievable.
And he's got the consistency as well. That's 4 of the last 6 seasons. He's scored 30 plus goals across all competitions. And he's a self-styled winger.
What Salah has achieved at Liverpool is amazing. From being considered a pace merchant to a Premier League reject, then called a one-season wonder, Salah has silenced all the doubters. Maybe when he retires, he will be looked back on more fondly, because I don't think people realize we are watching history. The consistency and the peaks that he has reached, I don't see why he shouldn't be considered the greatest right winger in Premier League history. Mohamed Salah is not the only underappreciated player on Liverpool. Just look at the discourse around Alexis McAllister. To see just how good the Argentinian maestro is at Liverpool, you have to check out this video right here.